Welcome to Balls and Strikes, where we call them like we see them. I'm Gary Abernathy, former columnist for the Washington Post. With me is Ken Buck, former U.S. Congressman from Colorado and founder of Americans for Good Government. Together, we're going to pull back the curtain on federal spending, the national debt, the rise of socialism, and the breathtaking waste and fraud that Washington hopes you're too busy to notice. Let's move on to a different subject, Ken. This is from CBS, a CBS report on the California hospice fraud. CBS News investigation found that 700 plus of LA County's 1,800 hospices show fraud indicators. One building they looked at had 89 registered hospices, which were empty offices, dead phone lines, piles of uncollected mail. LA hospices bill Medicare $29,000 per patient, double the national average. $105 million overbilled in a single year, so on and so forth. Ken, this is a connection to a column of yours. The people promising to protect your safety net are the same people allowing it to be robbed blind. From your time in Congress, Ken, is the level of Medicare fraud an open secret in Washington? And if it is, then why hasn't it been addressed?
Well, again, it hasn't been addressed because there's no incentive to address it. No member of Congress loses money as a result of Medicare fraud. No member of Congress is going to lose votes as a result of not investigating Medicare fraud. We don't hold our members of Congress responsible for what the federal government does. We know there's Medicare fraud. We know there's Medicaid fraud. We know there's fraud in every single handout that the federal government has. And what we have to do is we have to start moving. If there's a program that needs to be funded, a hospice program or something else, we need to move that to the states where it is closer to accountability. And we need to make sure we are funding it as much as possible where the private sector is delivering the service. Because if you have the private sector delivering the service, you've got an agency or a company that is going to receive profits. The federal employee has no incentive to make sure employee or fraud doesn't occur because that employee is going to get the same salary either way.
You know, Ken, that's one of the principles of Americans for Good Government, this organization that you're behind, is that every dollar, and this is an important point, people don't think about this, every dollar spent on patronage projects with no accountability, every dollar that it is fraudulently spent is not going where? To Social Security. It's not reducing the deficit. It's not serving the people who really need help the most. People need to understand these dollars aren't just, coming out of a vacuum. They're coming out of programs that a lot of people believe we need.
Absolutely. And the bottom line is government does nothing as well as the private sector. Now, you can argue that the private sector shouldn't run our war machine, or the private sector shouldn't run border security, or there's some areas maybe that we could say, the FBI shouldn't be privatized. I don't disagree with that. FBI would be more efficient if it was privatized, but I don't think we should give that power to a private company. So yes, I'm not in favor of transferring especially the constitutionally designated programs that are in the federal government. I'm not in favor of transferring those to the private sector. But these issues like healthcare, those are always delivered better by the private sector than they are by the federal government.
Let's talk about another subject, Ken. I want to talk, this strikes you as just kind of one of those unbelievable things that, people in my neck of the woods where I'm living in Southern Ohio, and they read about things going on like this in California. And that is California's $114 million wildlife bridge. Let me just set it up this way. The Wallace Annenberg Wildlife Crossing over the 101 freeway in LA was supposed to cost $92 million and open in 2025. It's now up to costing $114 million, $77 million of it from taxpayers, and it won't open until the fall of 2026 this year. Now, Colorado built an overpass for $15 million in a single year. The project director, of course, as they're wont to do, they blame Trump for the overruns. Governor Newsom wants to build hundreds more like this. You know, Ken, I don't know about you. Where I'm at, people look at this and just, this is what makes them shake their head and dismiss people from, the realm of common sense. What do you make of this type of just unaccountable spending for a project that doesn't even seem to have an end result?
It's crazy. And if you look at what happened in California, one, they have a director of this project who has no construction management experience. Two, they spent a ton of money on environmental impact statements to see what kind of damage it would do to the environment if they put this bridge in. Three, they pay wage laws that are outrageous compared to what the rest of the country pays. And then they scratch their head and they wonder, why are millionaires leaving? Why are businesses leaving? The critters that are on one side of the highway, they can stay on that side of the highway. They're okay. The idea that we have to, as we grow as a population, that we have to make sure that we're managing this wildlife. They're very happy. Any deer that wants to cross that highway can come to Colorado and live a very happy life. They don't need to be in California. There's too much marijuana smoke in California anyway.
Excellent point.
Thank you, folks, for listening. I want to make sure that you go to our website, Americans4goodgov.org. Please sign up for our emails and also send us your suggestions. What topics should we be covering? And how do we get people involved in saving our country? That's what we really want to know from you, and we appreciate it. Thank you, and have a great day.